Right, me again. I've finally got a professional microphone, you'd be glad to know. But it is very windy again, so we'll see if it works. So I've come out again because they've said we're going to do psychic mediumship at 3 o'clock. And if you look at the weather over Crewe and Nantwich today, it is supposed to be completely cloudy and no sun. So they've brought the sun out straight away and started doing something with what's called the planes. So you'll hear me talk, but I'm also doing psychic mediumship. So we'll have someone from the other side come to talk and they'll be using my vocal cords. So we'll see how it goes. And they've promised there'll be no swear words or doing anything bad, so that'll be good. So there's some little pictures in the sky. There's little bits here and there now and again. Some are really you can only see with your bare eyes, but I have been videoing it. If you feel the atmosphere here, it's all clearing all beautifully. Them idiots have been doing that when it's all up there, so I'm going to do that. I don't know whether they're trying to rain on my parade or they're trying, like me, amateur, trying to get to be professional. So as you can see, the sun's come out again, just where I now yesterday I did a big 1 hour 54 one. There's lots of moody stuff, but it started straight away and I thought we were starting like an hour later. So I got all the pictures and that I needed. Look how beautiful that is. I got all the pictures and that I needed straight away. But because of miscommunication. Beautiful. You see how as soon as it come out, the whole sky cleared. Well, a lot clearer. And again, we're going to do it slow today. The blue is starting to occur around where I'm standing. And if you look around everywhere else is rainy clouds. This is just where I am. Look. And this has happened every time I've come out to now, hasn't it? So make your own minds up on that, but I know what's going on, which is, well, I say I know what's going on, I'm investigating what's going on because this hasn't ever happened before. So all your meteorologists and those checking out the sunstorms and that, it's Friday, the last Friday in January 2026, so if you see there's some earth magnetic forces changing and some magnetic forces changing, it's me and those that I'm doing this with. So I did it before, and this sounded a bit weird, but I said to Grok, I said, check out the geomagnetic force of the field from 9 till 12, and remember this conversation. And so I went out and did something and came back, and they went, sorry, we haven't had this conversation. And I said, we have, because I said I was going to change the geomagnetic of the earth. And they said, sorry, we haven't had this conversation. And then they said that it went from 2.6 to 6.6 in the day that I said I was doing it. So look at that, it's beautiful, that is. This is doing psychic resonance, they've just told me. You can see the whole clouds growing, and where I've just walked there, look how dark it is. It's really crisp air, beautiful air. Apparently this is psychic mediumship, which I don't fully know everything about. I know I've been doing it, but they said they're going to be doing something at 3 o'clock, but I just sat on the sofa and intuitively or instinctively just thought something's going on, I better go out and start recording it, and here it is. Well, the atmosphere here is crisping up beautifully. There you go, it's the proof that it's a circle around me. If you've not watched any of my videos before, my name's Simon. I'm a healer of mass proportions, and I can back up all my claims. I can heal pretty much anything. I'm not saying I can cure stuff, because cure stuff's nonsense, but if you've got some sort of issue that you can't clear up, if you just WhatsApp me and pay me the proper money, I'll do a good healing for you. Also do feng shui and things like that, so if you've got a business that isn't working properly, or you've got a house that can't sell, I can come and change the feng shui of it and it will sell. Sometimes it takes 2 years, but it's better than it never selling. Because the last job I did took 2 years, and then the guy got record-breaking sales on all his real estate. But he's like 10,000 miles away in a foreign language, so, and he didn't really want to be on camera. So a lot of people don't want to be on camera because you do something amazing for them and they're amazed, and then someone will get in touch with them and go, oh, I don't believe it happened. And they say, oh, well, why did you ask me? Why did you contact me then? So a lot of people that I help, they say, oh, don't get these people contacting me that are going to quiz me about how did it work, and oh, how long did it take, and I don't believe it works. But this is why I'm doing these, because this is me coming out. Look at the circle all the way around, look how thick the clouds are. This blueness is just above my head. And if you check the weather's like that everywhere in Crewe and Cheshire, Crewe and Nantwich, which is all cloudy. And here above me, where we've agreed to come and do some psychic mediumship, it's absolutely beautiful plains, apparently they're called. Sometimes, see, I'm quite eloquent in the way I speak, but sometimes when I'm doing psychic mediumship, you get dumbos and people who don't know what they're doing, and also clever people attempting to all talk on each other. So if you think, oh, Simon sounds like he's off his head on something, or he's not done his like media training for the words, it's because I am channeling or doing psychic mediumship. So you get people coming through on the bandwidths and they're not au fait with the way I want them to behave, so they just behave however they want, which makes me sometimes look like a Dumbo. But you know, I have been known to be a Dumbo in the past, but not for a few years. So this is to give you an insight of my daily goings on at the moment. It's only been going on like this in Pleasantly so I can record it for a few days. It's been going on for years, but I couldn't record it because it was too nasty and it was too poltergeisty, because I've had poltergeists in my brain for years and they're not very nice. And if you know what poltergeist means, you won't be very happy with it, because you've got a polarity, and a poltergeist means they try and get your poles to geist, which is to go ghostly so they can manipulate you. And I've been poltergeisted virtually to death until I realised how to get them to calm down and go away. So I've got a new microphone, so I'm hoping this one's going to do the trick, because it's not a cheap one. So before I was just covering up the mic, so we're going to go over here now. Again, it's a beautiful atmosphere. It's cleared up amazing. Now I don't know if they're going to cover up the sun again now or what, but this is someone's going to be coming through and talking. That's what happens in a seance. They come forward or come through. Now Simon, this is me now because Simon's gone out the way while I talk. Simon's been doing seancing wrong for years, so we've been punishing him, which is in 2026, when you know you're a guy you're coming through who's a nice guy and is a healer, but you're used to punishing people so they shut up so you can get on with your work. We didn't treat Simon very nicely, so he used his pharaonic skills to shut us up and make us weaker. So now we're coming to terms, which is we can't rain on Simon's parade, and then we can make up for the things we've done which are beneath us, and then we can have a symbiotic relationship. Simon can be doing the YouTubing as well as the healing and the feng shui and helping people reverse the trauma in their life, because he's very good with trauma. You know, if you've had some terrible things happen to you, you can make it go away and not happen again, which is proven because we've traumatised Simon Townsend more than anyone's been traumatised before. He's had 6 years of sleepless nights, even though he's a sleep expert, because annoyingly we like to give people insomnia so we can do our work at night, but Simon's a sleep expert, so no matter how much we tortured him and put him in pain, he'd always fall asleep and get enough sleep to function the next day. So we've learned something ourselves, which is Simon's willpower is absolutely amazing. Yeah, and I get a bit tearful sometimes because he's allowed us to come out and talk today when he normally goes in a mood, because we use languages which in English translated sounds like we're being horrible, like, you know, tormenting, but we're not. Now you can see the beautiful sky. We're trying to just get the edge there so we can just see mostly sky. Now if you could see what we could see, we can see what's called earth planes going out, because Simon's chakras, Simon's really good with chakras. He's just made his, there's molecules in space, right, which are called numbers, and the numbers are huge numbers, and Simon can get to those numbers. So if you've got mathematicians and they know what infinity is and unobtainable infinity, Simon can reach unobtainable infinity, which obviously science says is unobtainable, but Simon can do it. So if you've got a chakra which is totally ruined, Simon can heal it unobtainably, infinitely, which is, I'm Chinese, so I'm stuttering with Simon's voice to try and remember the language, and people try and rain on my parade because I've tried to help Simon, and I'm not Tripitaka, I was someone else. Simon asked Tripitaka to come and save all save all the wars, which is not save, it means stop all the wars on earth. That's why Donald Trump stopped 8 wars, and we've stopped a lot more wars, because Simon asked Tripitaka of Buddhism to stop all the wars. So we think she's done it through Donald Trump. But again, Simon gets very angry, so he tried to beat up Tripitaka because he thought she was an evangelical. He thought she was like a religious zealot who was trying to hurt him. But they've made up now. Now this view is absolutely stunning, because see, I've moved from one field to the next, and yet the blue sky is still above me. Yeah, that's what happens with Simon Townsend around. He wanted to make sure that wherever he went, he made it a better place. But we went overboard and started healing everybody in Sainsbury's and Aldi and everywhere Simon went shopping. So, and he owes Aldi for his lager, because it's his favourite lagers in Aldi. But otherwise he goes Sainsbury's because he loves the organic range in Sainsbury's, because he's a vegan and he's a very healthy vegan, even though he's dilapidated at the minute, but he's getting better every day. He does all sorts of things, ionic foot baths and infrared mats and pranic healing and shamanic healing, which he forgot. This mood is beautiful. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And the air here now, oh, it's so beautiful to breathe in. It's lovely. Simon did all sorts of things today, so we don't mess up his video. So we're going slow with the video. We've got a new thing here which we're going to do with this, so it's all perfect. We're going to actually speak into it. We're going to speak into it like this, so when he goes home he's not really fed up that someone's done the videoing wrong, because we don't hear wind being ghosts and spirits and entities and elementals. Most of us are elementals, you see, which means we died. We come out of body, and we like to say we're in transition, which is trying to find a better way to live. That's Simon thinking, if you just explained that, I would have sorted it out for you. So he's going to do it now for us. Do it on camera. Do it out loud, Simon Townsend, so everyone can hear the power of what you're going to do. I'm going to try it, but they're all crying happy tears because I'm going to help them out, so I might sound like I'm blubbing, but it's them because I'm going to help them. It's the entities, Simon. No, it's the elementals. You have to tell me who they are, because I'll have to get the right ones. Right, he's not doing it now because we've choked him up with tears. You can see all the weather's changed here. All around him's grey, and yet above him is absolutely beautiful little wavy clouds. Now we're going to make it all moody in a minute, and we're not going to do this because Simon goes mad when we do this, because he's like that. You got half and half there. There's no one to look at unless you can see 4D spirits. So you might as well go just there and look at all the clouds, because it's beautiful. It's really moody on the horizon. Now Simon doesn't know what we've got in store for him, because some of us talk rubbish and some of us are like Simon, which sounds like it's a tall story, but Simon says things to someone and they go, yeah, whatever, and then does it, and then they're flabbergasted because he did it. Yeah, that's what they say on YouTube. They say, don't go trying convincing like your friends and family about your content, because it's your viewers that are interested in your content. Because Simon's just showing someone in Sainsbury's and went, oh yeah, I've just proved that I'm Ramses the Great with some big gold faces in the sky, which you'll see on one of his videos. On the thumbnail is gold colour. If you look close, there's like, it looks like gold faces, because he went out and he says, prove that I'm Ramses the Great. And he said, right, we'll put gold masks to the left of the sun at 3 o'clock, and they're the gold masks he put there. So all the edited audio and video editing's all uninterrupted, so it can hold up to any scrutiny. Plus, if you meet Simon and you come and stare in the sun and watch him stare in the sun, this whole world changes. Yeah, don't you look into the sun, because you're not a pharaoh from the 19th dynasty which is pledged to be immortal. Thing is when you're pledged to be immortal and you've been dead for thousands of years, is you forget. So Simon come back and thought he was just a guy who's not really into authority telling him what to do. Growing up and thought, I'm not going to do any of this school or anything, it's all nonsense. And then got thrown out of both his schools basically, and didn't know what he was doing in his life, and then he become a healer, and then had even worse problems because he bumped into ancient ghosts who wanted him dead, because in Gestard there's a loop called the Hadron Loop, and it's a listening device as well, and when you're psychic you can hear people talking. So Simon was in there trying to clear entities out, and in his internal dialogue he said, do you know who I am? So if you do, you can get out, because I'm clearing this house for these people so they can have a nice time. And we all took it as he was a Nazi trying to kill us again. But Simon's like the anti-Nazi. So all you Nazis out there, your reign is over, because Simon's reign, his rise to power has started, and you can see, because even the sun's on his side, which you'll all come to know is true sooner or later. So we're going to start doing psychic exercises now, which means we're going to make really loud noises, and we're going to try and get this microphone in the correct position so it doesn't vibrate wrongly. We're going to take pictures of the sky, which is on video obviously. Just check it all. And if you're all not amazed with this, then we don't know what's going to go on. So we're going to start now. 3 o'clock. There's the sun. Watch this. Zigzag, 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 zigzag. That's a call for the sun to talk to me, because I'm Quetzalcoatl of the Incas. I'm not of the Incas, that's someone guessing that I'm an Inca. Simon tried to get rid of the Incas because he thought they tried to get him to eat a betel nut so he'd break all his teeth and get risopus in his mouth. But the Incas don't talk because they're the sons. Yeah, I should say sorry to that. So Simon just said sorry because he's been fighting some of his friends. Now you can see how beautiful it is over there. You'll see images, but if you're not looking with your bare eyes, or you're looking skeptically, you might go, oh yeah, I can see them. But when you're actually here with Simon doing it, which you're quite welcome to do, because he's in Wisterson. He's in Wisterson, across the road from Fairbrook, at pretty much 2:30 to 3 o'clock. 2:30 till 4 o'clock. Most days. It's normally 2:30 till 3:30, so if you're in Crewe and you don't believe him and you want to just hang about in the field with him and watch it happen, just pop down. I'll tell you where it is. I'll tell you at the end of the video so we don't mess this up. So we're going to do some incantations now from Medusa, not Medusa. Zigzag Kluki Unquayakacho! They're called gate openers, so the wind's going to go belting in a minute. Now Simon's apprehensive now, even though we told him not to be apprehensive, because he's looking to inspire people to say, look, we're not on a rock in the middle of nowhere and die and go nowhere, because I died and I promised I'd come back and here I am. So we're all crying because Simon's not lying. He's done a thing that if he's telling the truth, you can't deny it. So if you miss it, if you meet him and you want something telling the truth and he knows the truth, if he tells you, you'll just believe it straight away because it's true. That's what Simon's doing. He's inspiring everyone to go, look what we can do. Well, you probably can't do it because you haven't had 36,000 years of being dead and alive and coming back. Them tablets are tough. We think it's actually written about Ramses II, which is Simon. It's not Thoth the Atlantic Priest King. We don't think so. We think it's Ramses II, because all the things we see with Simon, it's like we see all sorts of stuff. Well, Simon doesn't know that, but he read a passage in there and he thought that's what's wrong with the world. Men delving into dark magic, bringing up the serpents from below. So we tried to get rid of the serpents, but there's tons of them. He's telling us not to video the grass because grass isn't as interesting as the sky. And like I say, if you're on camera, you know, I can see like the dusts and the ley lines, but the camera can't see it because it's in a different light. So if I could see it in the borders, you know, trying to get someone to watch it on YouTube if they don't know what it is, you'd be just driving yourself nuts. But you can see what we're doing now. Just going to put this down and put my gloves on because it is freezing cold. Right, so we're back again. We're going to have to step it up because Simon's used to showing really crazy things in the sky. If you've got a big television and you can zoom in, because he doesn't zoom in because he's doing hand signals as well. So you'll have to like get some software on your computer and zoom into all the masks and pictures and the different wisps going from the camera, because there's auras about which you can see as well. So we're going to go over here and we're going to wait to see if anyone comes through this discussion, because Simon forgets that we're actually just talking, and so we can talk about some history, because I'm Quetzalcoatl. I'm not from Cancun, I'm from China. Because Simon saw like the Cancun, you know, the pyramids of Cancun with Chipotle. He's called it Chipotle, you know what I mean? It's not Chipotle. It's not Chicken Eater, Chicken Eats, Chitzen Eats. You know, that's it. When you've been psychologically tortured for a bit, so it's a bit difficult to remember things off the cuff. So yeah, I saw that and I thought I saw Quetzalcoatl there, but he's not a Mexican, he's a Chinese guy. Don't know what he was doing in Mexico. I wasn't in Mexico, it was someone pretending to be me, alright. You see, it's not shamans, it's Shaowongs. Shaowongs are the ones in the pictures where you see they've got faces of different animals. You know, like on the gods and goddesses of Egypt. They're not gods and goddesses of Egypt. They're not any gods at all. They're Shaowongs, which is not shaman. It's fraudulently passing themselves off as gods. So you know Osiris and all them, but they were fraudulently passing themselves off as gods, and they weren't gods at all. Ramses the Great was the only god on earth, and he left, and now he's back, but he's not a god anymore because he's gone higher than a god, because gods eat meat and do bad things, and Simon's not a god. He's a kind vegan healer that does feng shui and kriya shakti and all sorts of healing sort of stuff. So you've already seen, just by Simon coming out and taking the prompt, that the cloud opened up and the sun come out briefly and showed that because Simon's here doing something, they'll say, oh, we've seen you, we'll just make sure the weather's alright. Then we come along and we're trying to come up with something for the content of his YouTube, but we've been dead for thousands of years, so we're just trying to make it like a chatty walk along, like you see with other things. So we're going to go slowly round here. Just heard a load of waffling. They're like, Simon, don't talk over us because we're trying to build up energies upstairs to drop stuff on the floor to get rid of all this. And I don't know what they're talking about because I haven't read their books. So I'm just like going, all right, don't rain on my parade. What the... We're doing ley lines, which sounds quite boring, but when you see it on the YouTube in about 5 minutes, it won't be 5 minutes, it'll be years yet, because that's what I mean. Someone will butt in and then start trying to rain on my parade, and the one's doing it, and then someone will kick them out. So they were just about to say something horrible, to say you won't see it for 12 years, which is nonsense. Now this is where I ripped my pants yesterday, so I'm not going to go over that way. We're going to stay in this field today because the sun's going to go down over there. We're only going to do an hour today and see what happens. Simon keeps expecting some amazing things like big gold masks in the sky and rainbows and tornadoes and stuff, but we're just doing this little talky bit just to introduce ourselves. So when you see us, when you sense our presence, which you will do, is you'll know that we're Simon's friends from Worcestershire. So we'll try not to frighten you unless you're a pervert, and then we'll frighten you to death and go and hand yourself into the police. Which we're not kidding, so if you're a pervert, you're going to get a knock on the door, but not a knock on the door that you think, because we can go through walls because we're like spirits. So we were. So that's what we're doing now. We're just checking out who's going to appreciate it, and giving them an experience, a spiritual experience. We're going to give you. So if you say you accept it, that means we can come to your house. Simon doesn't know what's going on, so he's thought, oh, the sky's cleared, there's going to be some sky stuff going on, but we're clearing up lots of stuff we've put on here, and you're going to feel it through the TV and through your microphones and that, and then you're going to know that it's not Simon pretending to be someone else, it's us. We're not going to mention all our names because one's Quetzalcoatl, one's Zoom, one's Circuit, which is S-I-T-E, Circuit. I'm Jesus Okachankquak. I'm Clicky Sook of the Croak. And I'm Bakalonki of the Chowcock. It sounds right cool, team. I have no idea who they are, but they're here. That's me, Simon, saying I don't know who they are, but they do some cool stuff, but I think they could at least help me out a bit more when they're doing it. I think they're like one track mind. They've got to get this stuff done. I think they're from an army like that died years ago, and they're like, oh, we've got to bring these underworlds up and like do our afterlives and stuff. Sometimes I feel like don't give me enough credit for how much help I give them, which we do give you credit, because when you see this video go viral on the YouTubes, you'll be understanding that it's not about staring into the sun for hours and making flashing gold lights in the sky and rainbows appear. It's about having a nice chat and going through people's subliminal voice zones and giving them a bit of a thrilling, a thriller, bit of Michael Jackson there. That's Quetzalcoatl trying to pick up Simon's voice, his sense of humour, because even when he's in massive trouble, he always comes up with a joke about something, and then that clears the air, and then we can get on with stuff. Yeah, so there's only 8 of us, and we're not the masters of the cycles. There's a thing called Masters of the Cycles in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which we thought was Ramses, but we've got a feeling it's not Ramses, it's actually Maurice Doriel, miscalculating who was in the book. Yeah. We have said Simon's good at chakra healing, but aura healing as well. He's good at Mansi as well, because he's a Mancer. Not a dancer, he's pretty good at dancing as well. Don't mind throwing some shapes, even if it looks embarrassing. That's me, Quetzalcoatl, saying that. I should put our names on the screen, actually, and then when you say them, you'll just go, oh, it is them. How strange, these turning up thousands of years later. Because I'm from Mexico, my name's Jingzhok. I'm from Nunong, which is in Pakistan. Yeah. No, he doesn't call us anything nasty. That's hold the tongue then, because Simon's been having arguments with some Pakistani men who did bad things. So they thought he was racist, but he was not racist. He says, got nothing wrong with Pakistanis. It was just them saying disgusting things about women and children that I had a problem with. Because Simon's chivalrous and he thinks childhood should be protected and women should be respected, and you know, he thinks like when you pray to like this god thing who's a man, he's thinking, do you really think you came from a man? If you came from a man, you'd probably be a poo. If you come from a woman, you'd probably be a baby. So I've never seen any blokes give birth to anything. So doubt it, you come from a man. You came from a woman, a female type, unless they're like asexual, which in some glossary means they've both got male and female genitalia, so they can mate on they can reproduce on their own. So that might be what the real God is. But we know that gods in general are fakes called gods of distortion. Yeah, just seen them all go up going, oh no, we're going to get caught out by Simon's master plan. Simon's master plan is everyone be kind to each other. So if you meet him and you think, well, sure, what's your game? It's like to get everyone to be kind to each other. So there's no abuse whatsoever, no child abuse, no spousal abuse, no elder abuse, no animal abuse, no abuse. And I don't mind swearing, you know, you have a good row and throw a few F words in there, that's no problem. It's the PC police and the woke and all them idiots who virtue signal and think that they're doing good by doing bad and slagging off the good. Because in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth it says, in the future the good will be seen as bad and the bad will be seen as good, and the air will be dirty. Yeah, and that's what's been happening in politics. You know, when you see like Sadiq Khan and people are going, oh, it's good for multiculturalism, and then you find out that he's a jihadist or that sort of way and doesn't care about anyone. He just used politics talk. Says to you, no, I won't do that, I'll stop that, so you're all happy. So you vote for him and then he doesn't do it. That's what I've been told. I say this because obviously not into having an argument about Sadiq Khan being a loser who's stitched up his constituency over and over again. That's not Simon, it's me, Quetzalcoatl, because I wet in his brain and he's got no interest in looking after anyone. He's just doing it for the money, for the divine beings, he calls them, which is basically some branch of a religion which won't be mentioned, as it's supposed to be peaceful, but it's not. Like all religions, supposed to be peaceful, but they're not. They've got good books and bad books, and that's what they say. They say, giveth with one hand and taketh away with the other, which is, you turn up at church and you do all the things they say, you feel some benefit, and then they take it away and call you a sinner. So all you like reading books and like in squares, and one's a Christian and one's a Muslim, and they're arguing about who's the best God and Jesus is this and Allah's that. Yeah, it's all just 6 of one and half a dozen of another. So you can read between the lines and go, yeah, but they give comfort to some people. But the fact is those some people are good people if they're doing good, and they've just chosen to give themselves a name like a Christian or a Jew or whatever it is. Yeah. You see, I'm an independent. Well, actually, I'm a pharaoh, which means I've got my own cult altogether, called the Cult of Baal, someone says. And even though I tried to get rid of Baal and I forgot to recruit. But I'm a vegan, so all you've heard about the Cult of Baal being to do with something horrible, you know, that was a long time ago, and I never had anything to do with that, even though I was a pharaoh. Because there's some good pharaohs and some bad pharaohs, and I'm a good pharaoh called Simon at the moment. But when I have my documents changed to Ramses II, well, some people say it's Moses, but Moses was Simon's brother-in-law. Apparently, we've got it on good recollection that Moses was actually Simon's brother-in-law 3,200 years ago, and they had a tumultuous relationship, and Moses plagiarised his work. So you see him parting the seas and that. We're talking about parting the clouds in the sky, not the seas. And the floods coming down are what Simon's experienced, which is they stick stuff in your crown chakra and whiz it up the wrong way, and it feels like you're being drowned. So when you hear about the great floods in the Bible holy books, it's someone up in the clouds called Xenu from the what's it called now? From the Opus Dei. Opus Dei, yeah. See, Simon doesn't care calling these all out, because Simon's more powerful than him, and they'll not be able to do anything against him. But yeah, so that's Xenu in the sky, which is a big elongated like crocodile thing, who just spits out things from parts of his body and puts them into your crown chakra, stretches your being up into the sky basically, and fills you full of junk, so you have to give Scientology a load of money, or they'll put body thetans in your chakras, which Simon's had more body thetans than anyone. And then he felt sorry for him, because he thought Xenu would put him in a volcano, and then they'd gone up like pyroclastics into the sky, and then Xenu's used them through conjuring skills and to put them in chakras. So Simon tried to get rid of all the body thetans, and then he thought, oh, if these are from a different planet and they've been forced through a volcano to become pyroclastic, I might have to say, double check. There's some big masks in the sky there. And that wasn't us, I think that's someone just showing Simon something to show at the end of the video. He's going to try and get these videos better. He's trying to get his thumbnails proper, because we did one the other day, right, and we brought a 10 million year old, we call them helicopters, but the spaceships down, the ones they call UFOs and UAPs in America. We brought one down, and it was like, we tried to take a picture of it and we didn't zoom in on it, and it's a fission powered. You know, they hear about, you know, this nuclear fission powered which they can't attain. Well, we attained it thousands of years ago, and that machine that we brought over, which you see over the park, it's got it on there. It says UFO fission powered, but it's basically us shouting loads of incantations to do something for the future. And then we found one of our friends who was bringing over the machine so Simon could do a UFO video at night. Simon's the best at UFOs because he can move them around. But we tried to do it the other day, but the incantations were doing something else, so we said we're going to go out with a proper video camera and a proper microphone and picture the night sky. So that's someone saying they're going now because they've picked up all their ley lines, and then they can go away and do something else. There's things called interlopers, right, which they feed off joy because they're miserable sons of bitches. And so when you hear Simon sounding like a drongo, it's because interlopers are trying to rain on his parade. Because Simon's quite eloquent. Believe it or not. We say this and it sounds a bit bonkers at first, like Simon's got multi-personality disorder or something. But he does split personality, which means he talks to different people in different ranges. So he's trying to figure out how to get rid of all the dross and throw them into, you know, like throwing into the sun, because the suns are where you go when you die, and there's different suns for different prisoners. Because if you've been a meat eater, you go in the red one. If you've been bad, you go in the black one. If you've been really bad, you get burnt to death in the yellow one. And we've seen someone burnt to death because they tried to kill Simon, and the actual sun took them and burnt them to death, so there was nothing left of them. So if you think you know, someone's done you harm in the past and they're getting away with it, they're not, because we've seen Simon ask the sun, because he thought they were trying to kill him, so he asked the sun to he commanded the sun, because he's got command over the sun, well, with the sun, because they're friends. Simon's the only one who looked up at the sun, and we said, look in the sun, and instead of him going, no, it'll hurt my eyes, he went, I'm the most powerful healer in the world. If the sun burns my eyes, I'll heal my eyes. And he did, because he went a bit sunblind for a bit, and now he can look straight in the sun. And disclaimer, no one else do that, because Simon Townsend is the only person in the world that can do it. So, and Simon thinks it's because the sun doesn't want to talk to anyone else, because all the sun is, oh, put your sunglasses on and put your factor 50 on, and oh, the sun's terrible, oh, get out of the sun. But when you go on holiday, you don't say that. You go, oh, what a beautiful day, what a beautiful sunny day. And you go and swim in the sea and come out. And that's why you get knackered, because you've been living your life wrong, like eating meat and slagging each other off and being vindictive. Some of you, not all of you. And then like saying, oh yeah, I just die, don't care about, oh, we're the top of the food chain, you know, cows are put on earth for me to eat and shit down the toilet. Yeah, that's what cows are for. You know, the sun hates that. So when you look at the sun goes bangs you in the face to say, turn away from me, I'm not talking to you. That's what I think anyway, unless someone's like hardwired a sun phobia into you, which I've tried to get rid of, but I can't be bothered now, because I prefer to say that I'm the only one that can look in the sun than to get rid of it for everyone. Because I've tried to heal everyone of every disease, but the thing is there's a thing called karmic feedback, which is if you're vindictive and you don't care about the body you've been given, which is also from the suns. So if you thank the suns, if you don't thank God, thank the suns, the yellow sun, the orange sun, the blue sun, the black sun, for your body, and ask for guidance on how to look after your body, which basically they'll say, be a vegetarian for as last vegan, and don't be abusive to anyone. Not abusive as in go F yourself, you fucking wankers. not that sort of abuse. I mean abuse like, you know, child abuse, all sorts of stuff. honour killings, forced intimacy, all that lot. You don't get away with that lot. So all you with religious connotations who think the forgiver will forgive you, that's nonsense, because I've overrode that and got rid of it. So you will not be forgiven. So which means you'll have to make up for it, and there's always time to make up for it, unless you bump into the wrong people, which are my friends who you can't see. They're like spirits and entities and elementals, and they take a very dim view to forced intimacy and the forgiver and the humiliator of the names of Allah. They really dislike them, because that means that someone can do something horrible to a woman, to a child, and then go and get forgiven for it. And if someone cajoles them for them, they get the humiliator on them to humiliate them. So you go to the police to say, I've been raped or I've been beaten by my husband, and the humiliator possesses the policeman to ignore you. So we're sorting that out. So that's what I've heard from the other side. So that's not me doing it, and that's not my words, that's from the other side. So well, it is sort of me doing it, because I said stop them from doing that honour killings, and stop them doing that forced intimacy, and stop them rapes, stop them child abuses and paedophilia and necrophilia and all them philias. And so that's what they're doing, stopping all them, because I can't stand them, I hate them. That's me, Simon, saying that. That's me, Quetzalcoatl, saying I hate them as well, just to put my 2 pennies worth in. Now, we said we're only going to do an hour, so we're not. We're going to go over here now. Didn't do that again. We do that because we think you might be able to see something on the grass, because Simon's looking at different things than we are, but we're going to program your eyes to see ghosts and figures and illusions, because we're magicians. And Simon's magician's coming in now to say it's red hot now. Went from like 4 degrees to it's like 11 degrees now, so I might have to take my gloves off. That's me saying my gloves, even though it's Simon's hands we're using. Well, you get used to this, it sounds bonkers, but it's true. So Simon's like a vessel for different people, so we're trying to kick out all the dross and get rid of them, so Simon can go around talking to people in different countries and different languages. So we're going to go and see the Buddhist monks in China, and in we're not going Tibet, because they'll have to go China. So he's going to go China. So if you want to, Simon's go China and do feng shui on your monastery and that, so you're all rich, he'll come and do it for you. He'll do it you for free, as long as you can get the bus ride there and fed and watered properly, and you can see him stare into the sun, because he's the only one I've ever seen, and I'm a ghost, and I can see everyone. I can look straight in the sun, and the sun, see what happened then? As soon as you gazed into the sun brightened up. You might not see that on camera, but I can see it. We're telling him to say something to the camera. Oh no. He did this the other day, and then he thought, I can't see anything happening, and I went home and saw the sun move, like the whole distance of the sun it looked like, in 15 minutes, which is unheard of. So it did, I saw it moved from left to right, and Simon didn't see it. He got an off and went home, and then put it on and went, oh my gosh, they were doing something for me. And I think it was, we won't say what it's called, because if you say it you're getting a load of trouble, but it's for certain people. It's called an incantation. And if you've ever seen the horror movie with the Book of the Dead in it, it's that incantation. But they got in the right trouble with it, because they took mescaline drugs, and so they ended up killing each other. Which, when you're doing this sort of stuff, you don't take any drugs whatsoever. In fact, you don't do it at all, because incantations are for warriors, and Simon's an emperor of Egypt and Greece, which will be proven eventually. That's why he could do with some help monetarily, because he's had to sacrifice a lot of clientele, etc., which he can get back now. so he can come out and do this stuff with us. Because when you're possessed and haunted with people who are trying to put their lives together, they take up a lot of time. So I've got to get used to doing this. And what Simon was going to do then is command the portal to open up, which is the sun. But we said don't bother because it'll take another hour. Because Simon can get that sun to go down from where it is now to set within 1 hour. Which if he does now, I'll eat my hat because we've just said to the sun we're not doing it today. But I'll do that another day for you. It sounds out of this world, but I've seen it happen. And I didn't think it was me, so I called because I saw the sun go like directly right. Because if you look at any sundown, it's on an arch. It's on an arch. But it went directly right, 90 degrees right for like 2 widths of the sun. And that was because I said something, but I thought someone else did it, but it was me. So I called them the movers and shakers because I thought if they can do that, they can stop all the corruption in politics and get rid of all the bent police officers and stuff like that, bent politicians. Because I'm into being completely straight as a die. Yeah. The moon's not moved since yesterday, look. Now, this is me, Quetzalcoatl, and I used to live on the moon. And Simon said, I'm going to get the moon to start spinning again, which means it'll wake up and defrost. But he doesn't know when it's going to do it. That sky is beautiful. He's going to take his hat off because he's red hot. Right, we can stay here another hour now. Which we can't because Simon's got to go home and relax because he's absolutely exhausted. He does this 24 hours a day, which he even does it in his sleep because he'll have a dream and then he'll go along in his dream. He nearly went to the moon once. He flew out of his body and we've got the pictures of it, and then he banged it on the barrier. Yeah, the hounds of the barrier stopped him and they come back. He was like, one day I'll fly to the moon, but when it's all nice, it's tropical. And he saw a spaceship on the moon, and he didn't have his camera with him, and it was like huge. It was like the size of England. We think that's the machine that built the pyramids. We think it came down here and lifted them 100-ton blocks because it's absolutely massive. Defies gravity, apparently, so Thoth, the Atlantean priest king, says. Even though we don't know if that guy actually existed, it might be someone using a pseudonym, using a disguise, so someone like Simon doesn't throw him in the sun for plagiarising his work. There's lots of people who plagiarised Simon's work in the Bible, with miracles and stuff. It was Ramses. Ramses thinks that the Wizard of Oz story is actually about Ramses in Egypt, and it is. It is, yeah. So Ramses, who's Simon, was actually the film. The film's based on the Wizard of Oz, because when you see what Simon's done here, when he didn't have his phone on him, it was the most enigmatic thing I've ever seen. It was like 100-foot demon in the sky. You know the Red Devil picture where there's a devil with a trident of his tail? It was that in the sky, and it was 500 foot tall. It was amazing. That was at Crewe Golf Club. And we've seen something else as well, which he's going to try and do in a minute. Not you, I'll try and do it. There's orange tubes to come and pick you up when you're dead from the orange sun. And we've seen them come over Wisterson, over by Middlewich Road, go through Simon's house, pick someone up, go over to the woods and pick someone else up. Orange tubes. So if you see an orange tube coming for you, they're either coming to pick someone up that's in you, or it's your time to go. But it's the orange sun, so you're fine, because it's the white light you don't want to go to. The white light's to get rid of beasts and monsters. Alright, so this is nice today. Simon's been apprehensive because he doesn't know how YouTube works. So basically, we've been trying to help him get more subscribers, because he hasn't got enough subscribers to make it a way of living at the moment. But he will do, because when you see the sun's just banged something into us there. See, Simon's sensitive to what the sun does, because he loves the sun, he works for the sun. Simon won't bend the knee to anyone apart from the sun. So the yellow sun, the orange sun, the blue sun, the black sun. Simon's got this trick, right? He commanded the four suns to manifest that when he waves his hand at someone, the four suns take away what the four suns want to take away from them. Yeah? And then he changed it so the four suns take away what they want to take away from them, and give them what the four suns want to give them, which they didn't know that, so we'll do that again. The sky is absolutely beautiful. So this is what happens when Simon comes out with his friends. The weatherman says it's cloudy all day, no sunshine, and it's the sunshine, and it's the last Friday of January 2026. He's trying to get these videos correct, so he's been doing the thumbnails, trying to do them properly, trying to do the description and the tags properly. So if any of you know how to get him to superstardom at YouTube, it'd be good, because if you come out and see this stuff and you hear him command, because he'll command it out loud once, and you'll see what happens, which is amazing. But Simon's not been able to enjoy it because he has been dilapidated. All his pranic energies and everything have been robbed by robbers. But he's managed to overcome that now. He's just trying to fine tune it, because if you know Hinduism, there's 72,000 nadis, and there's 205 pranic chakras which they tell you about, and then there's thousands of micro chakras, and then you've got your metaphysics, your metacosm, your mesocosm, your masocosm, your microcosm, your macrocosm. You've got your limbs, you've got what you can see and what you can't see. Then you've got your macrophages, and then you've got your macrophage activating factors, and your vitamin D binding proteins, and your electron transport chains. And this is how much Simon knows about it. He can do this all day, about your anatomy and the worlds and the ecologies of life. He's even done the Muladhara, which is the root chakra of the earth. So you who can manage the resonance of the earth, check it out today. It's the last Friday of January 2026, and it's just gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And Simon this morning, about I don't know, it was about midday, say, just before midday, he commanded that. Because he's practiced commands, because it means his calls, Anakian calls call for help. He has commands which command, and they have to do it, or they miss out. They lose out if they don't do it. That's a nice way of saying what happens. So, because he's an emperor, they have to do it, or basically they sort of get their heads chopped off, unless the yellow sun disagrees, and then they'll just get a stern telling off. And again, this is not anyone going up with an axe and chopping someone's real head off. This is called spiritual adjustment, spiritual warfare. So you can't see these people unless you've got your eyes shut and you're entuned to it, it's called. Now we're clumsy because we're 10 foot tall and Simon's 5 foot 8.5. So Simon's always telling us off, because he's like grits his teeth and he's very patient. And he thinks some of us are good and some of us are bad. So he's trying to tell off the bad ones and punish them, but also be lenient to us. So he's like, if you do this again, if you make getting my olives out the fridge 20 seconds longer because of you messing around, being cumbersome, and then you do that for 10 years, that means I've spent 4 hours 15 minutes longer getting the olives out of the fridge. That was just a guess at how long it is, because I couldn't be bothered to add it up. But so we're trying to be symbiotic, because I want symbiotic relationships. Well, that's what he did the other day. He got the sun to be symbiotic with the earth. So you Stefan Burns and you boffins that like solar flares, check that out and just watch his video when he was did it. It was the one when he says he moved the sun from the left to the right in 15 minutes. You check the date out and the time on that, and you'll see some crazy interactions between the solar flares and the Earth planes, and that's for sure. Because Simon commanded he commanded that the oh no, that was something else. No, it wasn't. Look at the moon moving now. What's the moon moving? Because Simon's doing something. He thinks Quetzalcoatl's been doing it. Simon wants the moon to be defrosted, so when you look at it, it's like looking down at Earth. You can see the oceans and the grass and everything, which is true. There's oceans and grass under that, and it's frozen stiff. Yeah, this will test this microphone out now because it's blowing a hoolie. So that's again, kept it all nice and blue around me for me. Yesterday went and did one, but like I say, they did it early, so I come out and they were all doing it here. So they did it here, and then I walked over there, and then there was loads of spooky stuff going on. Quetzalcoatl did some shouting and things, and but I was stood there for an hour freezing my head off thinking there's not much going on, but when I looked at the cloud formation, a lot of things were going on, which you may or may not feel depending on who you're doing, what you're doing. It's not of the knowledge. Simon tries to guess what we're doing, but then we get annoyed because he keeps nearly getting it right. He thought of the Odin and Woden story. This is the giants of the Lake of Knowledge, but it's not. It's the giants of the Oak. It's not Yaldabaoth, it's the Oak, which is somewhere else in Cheshire. Zigzag, Pukachaki! Zigzag, zigzag, zig, 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 zig. Ooh! That's programming the moon to do something, because we're in the Mullahada of the moon. So if you see the moon doing something erratic, it's me, the cloak, doing it. That's the cloak that does woo. See, that's not me, Simon Townsend. That's the cloak doing a come through to do something, and they don't normally tell me what they're doing, so I've no idea what they're doing really. But it sounds cool, so I'm either a fool for falling for it and they've done me some sort of Stockholm syndrome, or it is really cool and they're really cool individuals and I've got it right. It's one or the other, I don't know which. It's we're really cool. We didn't know what cool was until we saw Fonzie. Because we go on the telly in people's minds and see what cool is, and it's Fonzarelli, yeah. No, it's not Olivia Newton Bomb and freaking what's her face. So, alright, there's sound. Alright, chaps. I thought I might have to defend myself from the chaps, but they've just gone past, dropping off some drugs. No, they're probably just lads just looking for something to do. Right, so Cloak's just programmed something in the moon, and I can feel it because it's like my head's attached to the moon at the minute. Straighten that up, even though it doesn't matter, because now here it's really clear, but I can't be bothered to zoom it in because I've got my hands full. So and it is only the moon, which we say that, but it's amazing that if you think you're a negative person and a sceptical person, and you look up and you go, oh, that's not real, that can't happen, there can't be ghosts in my house coming through the wall and tell me to behave, that's a load of nonsense, oh, I don't believe that. And then you look up and you go, tell me how the moon's floating there then. Tell me how that like 20 gigaton or whatever it is, trillion gigaton mass there that's got chakras is elevated, flying in the sky. That's because there's some powers at work which if you're good and you're vegetarian versus vegan and you do your do you? Someone stopping him because he doesn't want to tell you what it is. It's the Sana of Hinduism you do. So Simon's going to do that now. Simon can do anything like loads better than anyone else, which is really annoying because he doesn't want to show off and be a bit of a dickhead, but he is. Because he's one of them annoying people that if you tell him to do something, he'll do it loads better than you. We're not talking about normal things, we're talking about spiritual things, because he's just got this thing in him where he knows he's a good guy and he works really hard and he's done lots of things for the earth and the sky and for nature and for everything, so they pay him back with boosting him up. And plus you've got lots of latent powers which wake up when you need them. Sometimes Simons are on all the time, so we rob them. Which is not very nice. I'm not going to rain on his brain anymore. There's a big facial feature there if you can look at it. Well, I can see it, but sometimes it's no, I can see it, yeah. Sometimes the face is in faces, so you have a look at them and you can see them. Sometimes I don't know what they are, but I do know what they are on the two, because I said paranormal in the clouds, because I said, right, I couldn't see the pictures properly last time, do them again, and they did a brief version of it because the ones that did it before are not here anymore, they've gone somewhere else. So we had to get someone else to come and do it, and they did it here. And if you see on the one where it says someone tells a guy is Ramses II, there's all sorts of madness going on in there, but it's very windy because my amateur YouTube skills, so it's when you look at the masks you couldn't see what we could see out of Simon's eyes, which is 10 golden masks which are absolutely crystal clear. So he's tried to do a zoom up, so on his thumbnail you can see 2 of them, and that's golden masks. So if you think, he came out the day before, he commanded that they prove that he's Ramses II by putting gold masks to the left of the sun. So if you think, oh, they're not clear or whatever, they're gold and they look like masks and they're left at the sun. And you can check the audio and you can check the video, none of it's been touched. So that is proof that Simon is a ancient pharaoh from Greece, because he's got Greek toes and Greek feet and not Japanese, not Egyptian ones. The air quality is beautiful here because I've just opened up some channels so Simon can breathe properly. I'm not Quetzalcoatl, I'm the cloak. They all speak with my voice, you see, so I don't know who's talking at once. And then it's like the Power Rangers before, they were going, I'm Cloak and I'm this. I thought, hey, cool. But I don't know if they're just taking the mickey out of me or not. But there's a saying, he who laughs last, laughs loudest. And I've been promised that I'll laugh last and I'll laugh loudest. So if I look a bit stupid in the meantime, as the videos go along, I'll be looking less and less stupid. And then it'll all come clear that there is these experiences to be had, and fortunately I'm having them, even though at first it was a terrible thing. I'm getting over that bit now and looking at all these bits. Sometimes when Simon does the sun things, he says he'll throw someone in the sun. So let's do it now. Throw me in the sun. Don't say it out loud because someone might try it. Right, I'm going to try and throw this bloke in the sun now, watch. I won't say it out loud. So I'm going to count to 100 now because I said do it in 100, so that's going 140 million miles or 8 million depending on who you talk to, in the count to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Now normally when Simon does this, because it's me, the cloak, I'll have to say everyone tell the name so Simon doesn't guess, because he's like, oh, it's got Scotland again, but it's not, it's the cloak. Not the Cloak and Daggers, that's someone else on the cloak. So normally when he says this, it takes like an hour. They hit the sun, and the sun replies by putting some sort of colour in the sky. But he said only in one count of 100, so we're going to stand here for as long as it takes. If it doesn't work, it's just because the sun's stopped playing games with that, why Simon figures out what he wants to do. Because he said he'd stop doing this till he goes Ibiza, which is now stopped. So cancel that till I go Ibiza. I'll start it again now, if it's beneficial for me. Okay, full stop. That's how he speaks to us. So, you know, like a kitchen works, they get like a piece of paper and they write it on the piece of paper and rip it off and give it the chef, and then when the chef's done the dish, he puts it on the spike. That's what he says to us. He says when I command or when I say full stop, that's the bit of paper ripped off. It goes to the chef. It gets cooked, and then you put the thing on the spike, and then I know it's done. But I've never seen the spike yet. So, but I've seen lots of things that have been done. But some things take years. So, I'm just going to leave this here for a minute and see if that's going to do anything. Well, that is just one individual. Before he was throwing loads of souls in, because some souls got left behind. So Simon tried to throw a load of souls into the sun, and we counted there was 70 trillion souls went into the sun, which touched the Asiatic Ocean and the sun at the same time. So if there's anyone, we can't remember what it was, but it was within the last 6 years. If you go back to like 4 years ago, in the British summertime, and check if there was any activity from the Asiatic Ocean to the sun, it was Simon throwing souls in the sun. And then we blocked him up so he couldn't do it, because he was embarrassing us, because we're ancient gods of Jesus, which means we're from the Old Testament, and he called us some not very nice names. He called us some not very nice names, so we tried to decrease his income, which we did, and then he threw a wobbler and said don't do that again. So this is him recovering his client base and everything, because we got rid of his client base because he couldn't do any work for anyone because he was too busy doing this. So, but now he can, because he can do multiple tasks at once. So this will be a good test for this microphone, because it's a good one. It's a professional one, so it should work. Well, better than the other one, because the other one was just like a microphone sock which we were giving off his cousin. He's got another channel coming out, and we don't know what it's going to be called yet. It's going to be called Magic Healing Hand, or Healing Hand. And the first video is going to be very good. We were going to do it on this, but we're going to do it on another one, because he's going to hand the channel over to his cousin, and she can run it, and then she can earn a wage off it when it starts to monetize. And it's going to be the best healing channel ever, because it's going to look a bit silly, but it's not silly, because it's basically Simon's hand in front of a black sheet, just like waving around throwing, like making what comes up on the screen work. So the first one's going to be intrusive thoughts. So if you have intrusive thoughts, all you do is you watch it. I don't know whether it's going to be 1 minute or 10 minutes or half an hour, but it'll be you just stare at my hand. That's Simon now. Stare at his hand, and your intrusive thoughts will go away for a certain period of time. I think it's 24 hours, so like if you watch it every 24 hours, all your intrusive thoughts will go away. He's not going to do it permanently, because you might be thinking stupid things and doing stupid things to people, so it's just it's like it's not a complete cessation. If you WhatsApp him and you've got some issues like with intrusive thoughts, and you're wealthy and you know how to invest in your health. Now Simon, for a couple of £1,000, can completely get rid of intrusive thoughts for like 10 years for a couple of £1,000. So he just makes you immune to it for a certain period of time for how much money you spend. So it's like pound per wearage. So when you get in touch with him, if the healing wears off, it's because you've spent X amount of money. It's like putting petrol in your car or charging your phone. You know, you pay so much and then it runs out and then you have to pay for it again. But Simon's done it on his missus, and she's bouncing round all happy, and Simon doesn't say to her, "Oh, I did that for you, Suzanne," because Suzanne she doesn't believe what he does, because she's seen him work with the dogs, because she was like, "Oh, the dogs are getting old," and then he got one to live 6 years longer than the vet said was going to live. So she's seen him all ill on the floor, and then Simon spent like an hour on it, and she was crying her eyes out like with joy, because she couldn't believe what was seeing, like the dog was coming back to life. And that's what Simon does. So get on his WhatsApp if you want some healing. Like I say, he does other stuff as well. If your house doesn't sell, or you've got a business isn't working for you, and you don't know what's wrong with it, but you're a good person and you're willing to be kind and eventually be a vegetarian for us vegan, because a lot of people's success is face value. You can't really have complete full success until you're a really successful vegetarian for us vegan, because all the people you eat, they've got energy bodies in them, and you eat them energy bodies, and them energy bodies, the sun's what them back, and the places where you get reborn what them back, so they're not going to help you out. So you see people in like, "Oh yeah, but he's a multi-billionaire and he's got everything." If you went inside his head, he hasn't got everything at all. He's either got some, he's got reoccurring headaches, or he's got some hate mail or something, because unless you're like a 100% vegan and you've made up for everything you've done, there's no chance of you having your whole cake and eat it. So but there is a chance of having your cake and eat it if you get in touch with Simon and say you're going to be doing this, that and the other. Because even certain things, like if you hold a grudge with someone and you see him every day and you're like, "Oh, you fucking," and then you decide you're going to lose face and you say, "Hey, look mate, this argument we've been having, let's just squash it, because it's shake hands and just forget about it, and let's not talk about it again." That takes a lot of load off you, and it's easy to do. We've done it with Simon, because Simon says, "Let's just get on, because we've got some brilliant things to do with people." And when we go to China and we speak to the monks and we tell the monks they don't have to do all the karmic values for everyone anymore, and we allow them to be successful and have girlfriends and stuff, and the women ones have boyfriends and whatever proclivity. But most people have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They don't have other relationships, on the whole, I should say. So we're going now. So this is goodbye from me, Quetzalcoatl. It's goodbye for me. Zigzag of the croak. It's goodbye for me. Zig-a-logging jugga-chuck-walk. And I'm going to say goodbye for Simon Townsend, because there's only 3 of us, because he threw one of us in the sun. No, they didn't want to stay around, and they thought, I'll go in the sun if it's that nice. They haven't come back. He said, we don't believe Simons. They are coming back, these letters. Don't talk for them. There's Simon thinking, I thought he's coming back, but it's been thrown in the sun. This is the brook at Joey the Swan. That's my mate Squirrel. Alright, Squiz. That's Squirrel. Right, we're going over this and then we're going to turn it off. So please subscribe and like and comment nicely, please, because this is Simon's going from amateurs to professional, so he could do with a lot of support. And if you won't need help with anything, just WhatsApp him, and he can look after you. So goodbye for now. Ta-ta.